guys? Sean Hammond with PremierGuitar.com. We're at Summer NAMM 2015 in Nashville. We've got Mitch from Park Amps. Mitch, you guys have two new heads?
Yeah, there are two new heads. We have the Little Head 18 and the Rock Head 50.
What we just heard was the Rock Head 50, right?
Yes.
And that's based on an old Park, right? Same name?
Yes, in the late 70s, Park had an amp called the Rock Head, and it was their version of a master volume kind of amp, and you had a low input and a high input. You could foot switch between it, and it had a post-phase inverter master volume. So it was an interesting head. It's pretty rare, but I did an updated version of that that's, I think, more usable for today's players, because you've got a real clean sound with a fat, beautiful, rich sound, and then also an overdrive where you have a separate level control and a gain control, so you can really control the two channels.
So they were the old one and the new one were EL34 powered amps. How do you, when you're designing that and you're basing it or getting inspired by an old design like that, how do you straddle the line between making it true to that, what inspired it, yet bringing some worthwhile modern updates to it?
Well, I use the traditional Park circuit for the clean sound. It's more like an older Park, like the Park 45. So it's got that rich, clean sound. And what that master volume style Rock Head had was a higher gain tone from that time. And it's a great sound, but you weren't able to control the level. So now you can control the level between the clean sound and the overdrive sound. So you've got that rich Park original clean sound that's rich and full and fat. And then the overdrive that's similar to what was in the Rock Head.
Now, do they have independent EQs and all that, or?
No, it's like an original master volume in that set. It shares EQ, but you have separate gain controls and level controls.
Okay, so coming in, we heard the clean sound.
No, that was actually the overdrive on a low setting.
Okay. Do you want to show us a couple other different sounds from ultra clean and to higher gain?
Sure. So here's the clean channel set clean.
Nice and rich.
And here's the overdrive. Oh, one thing about the clean, let's do that, because this has a post-phase inverter master volume. You can also get the clean sound to overdrive, and that would sound something like this. And that's the clean channel.
Sounds really nice.
Thank you. So we'll go back to clean, and then we'll hit the overdrive channel. So that's the overdrive set, like with a medium overdrive. So you've really got a wide variety of clean and overdrive sounds from one amp.
Yeah, it is really great sounding. We should probably mention, even though it's NAMM and it's loud, people are probably detecting a little bit of reverb on there. You've got a noise knob or wet reverb patched in, right?
Right, it's got a passive effects loop, and I've got the wet in there. Yep, exactly.
So should we take a look and listen to the little head up top there?
Sounds good to me.
All right, Mitch, so this is the little head up top, and this is quite a bit different from the other one in that you can do some pretty exciting things with tubes.
Exactly. It's based on a traditional Park head, so the circuit is very much like a 45, and it's the same layout as you see. So you have two channels, four inputs, two volume controls, and treble, mid, bass, and brightness, which is the presence. And I've also got a post-phase inverter master on the back panel. The difference between this is the format. It's a lot smaller than the regular head. And what's great about the power second is the user can change tubes. So you can use 6 V6s, 6 L6s, EL34s, and without biasing, because it's self-biasing. So a user can do it themselves. Put the amp on standby, please, when you do that. You can also change rectifiers, so you go from a 5Y3 to a 5A04 or solid-state plug-in. And everything works, all the voltages are correct for all the settings. And you can, in the lowest setting, you've got 15 watts, and it's a little spongier than if you use higher powered rectifiers. And you go up to 24 watts, clean. And the sound changes depending on the tubes.
That's really cool. So right now you've got 6 V6s in it.
Right. And a 5Y3.
So that's 15 watts.
15 watts, exactly.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, so here's the clean sound. And then we can bring the master down a little bit on the back and the gain up a little bit. And we'll bring the master down a little bit more, gain up a bit. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a bit of a spongy feel.
Yeah, it sounds really, really good.
And you know, as I said, as you put in the GZ34 solid state, it'll get a little bit tighter, and the tone will change. It'll get a bit fatter when you use 6L6s, and it'll get a little more mid-range oriented when you use EL34s, more martially, quote unquote.
Awesome. So, how much is this going for?
Well, all the standard heads are $2,500, and they're all hand wired, made in the USA in New York. And the little head, one of the reasons it's the same price as the other ones, the bigger ones, is it's using the same transformers. It's using big transformers to get that because it's got a full
Yeah,
sound.
it's a huge key.
Yeah.
Okay, so where should people go online to find out more about the specs and find dealers and all that?
You can go to the Park website. It's parkamplifiers.com or colbyamps.com.
Sweet. Yeah, that's your other line, kind of a little more modern take on things.
Yeah, a little bit different, more complicated. Channel switching,
Yeah.
separate EQ on each channel, things like that. And I've also got some dealers around the country. So
Sweet.
There you go.
Thanks, Mitch. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm Sean Hammond for PremierGuitar.com.